Hello students, welcome to online tutorial session. Today we will start the chapter 6, that is the internet and its application, including HTML. Okay, so HTML is in the theory part also, as well as it is in the practical part as well. Okay, so we will this total chapter consists about the brief history of internet, some services provided by the internet, in network and the internet security, and the hypertext markup language. Okay, these are the four main components it is covered in this chapter. So we will start with the brief history of internet. So the US Department of Defense developed the first version of internet during 1970s to allow the quick communication among the researchers working on the department project in about 30 locations. So department also saw as a way to continue communication among this important defense site is the event of a worldwide catastrophe. So such neural network, such as neural attacks and things like that. So since these projects were funded by the Department of Advanced Research Project Agency, that is ARPA, the network was originally called as a ARPA net. Okay, so in the year 1980, just as desktop computers were becoming common, the National Science Foundation founded a high-speed connection among the university centers based on this ARPANET structure. So there is actually a few standard bodies of internet are there. Okay, so first we have to understand who owns this internet. Okay, no person, government or entity owns or control the internet. Okay, there are the regulatory boards that define the rules and the regulation for using the internet, but this body do not actually run the entire internet. Okay, during the development, the internet was supported and the controlled mainly by the American government agency, first by the ARPA, then by NSF. NSF means National Science Foundation. Okay, so the adjacent from the ISOC, that is Internet Security, to that they are having branch, that is IAB, ICANN. Okay, so these governing bodies are there actually, who actually controlling everything over here. Okay, now coming to the next topic, that is internet service providers. Okay, so ISP or internet service provider. An internet service provider or an ISP usually provide customer with the access to the internet. Okay, so ISP started at the end of 1980s and provided connection to the internet, both home as well as in case of business. Okay, so ISP follows a hierarchical scheme, okay, that are divided into local, regional, national and global ISPs. Okay, the global network service providers, that is NSP, build a national or global network and sell the bandwidth to the regional NSPs. Then regional NSPs resell the bandwidth to the local internet service provider, which is finally sell their service to the local end user. Okay, so example of the ISPs, you can say MTNL, Airtel, UTL, Infocom, Smile, okay, Rock Telecom. They are actually the service provider. Question will come, give some example of an internet service provider. Okay, so what services they are actually providing us? There's internet access, domain name registration, domain hosting they are also providing, dial-up access also they are providing, and lease line access also they are providing. Okay, now coming to the next part, that is you can say that is a netiquette. Okay, netiquette actually you can say it is a part of our email standards. Okay, so The etiquette or the rules to be followed by someone using the internet are collectively called the etiquette. I mean, while we are using the internet, we have to follow some rules and regulations. So these are actually all the rules and regulations are collectively known as the netiquettes. Okay, here I am showing you the 10 rules of netiquettes. Okay, so number 1 is check your spelling. Okay, when we are actually writing your email or something, that point of time, or giving some message or something, you have to be very specific in case of your spelling and grammar. Okay, next, avoid caps. Caps means that is the capital letter. Okay, so avoid being capital, write avoid being capital letter. If you are writing everything in capital, it is may not be user friendly one, because many people cannot differentiate. Okay, you're not able to, the text is not actually a readable one. Okay, which give a problem to the user who is reading. Okay, next is do not flame. Flame means if a person send a message with the angry or hated content, then it is known as a flaming. Okay, so flaming is usually discouraged by the internet community as it considered rude. Okay, so don't do the flaming. Okay, learn to forgive. Okay. Next is don't lie. That if you are sharing your details or anything, if you are opening your any account or something, don't give false name, date of birth, everything like that. Okay, and respect others' privacy. Don't try to hack anybody's account. Don't try to access the information of the others. Okay. Now, next one is don't use slang. Don't use abusive language. Okay, don't spam. Okay, don't spamming. Spamming means that the term spam is used to indicate unwanted commercial emails. Okay, thus being a cheap media for communication, companies can be sent advertisements and material through the emails. Okay, don't allow these things. Okay. Stick to the topic, write whatever you are needed in a crisp manner, okay, and make a good impression. Okay, so these are the points, you can say these are the rules that we need to follow. Now coming to the topic, that is email. Okay, so what is email? Email is an abbreviation word, abbreviated word. It is the original word is electronic mail. So often electronic mails is often abbreviated as an email. So is a method of exchanging digital message designed primarily for the human use. Okay, so email systems are based on the store and forward model, in which the email service system accepts, forward and delivered and store the message behalf of the user, who only need to contact or connect to the email infrastructure. So from we need to, so email, everybody you are able to understand. So previously we are using the postal services for the communication purpose. If you want to send some messages, then you have to use the postal services. So but postal service is taking the longer period of time, while electronic mails, it can reach to anywhere in the globe within a minute, or you can say within a second it can reach. So through the postal mail we cannot do that. Okay, there will be a lot of disadvantage over in using the postal, but here there is a lot of advantages also. There are disadvantages also there. Okay, so history of an email, how it is evolved. Okay, the foundation for today's global internet email services is created by in the early ARPANET. Okay. The standards for encoding the message were processed as early as example 1973. So email sent in the early 1970s looked very similar to one sent the internet today. Okay, like this 1970. So network-based email was initially exchanged on the ARPANET in extension with the FTP, but today we are carried it by SMTP. Okay, there's SMTP, FTP. These are all actually the protocols, or you can say the rules. Okay, we will coming back to this in the next chapter. Is there all the protocols are there? We will discuss about it. Okay, so Now let's discuss about the structure of the email. Okay, so how actually there is a two main component of the email is there. The number one is the message liner, that is a message header. Okay, the message header contains the control information, including the originator email address, one more recipient address, usually add additional information added, subject, header, etc. And another one is the message body. These two are the main components. So now we will write more about the header field. Okay, so what header field consists? That is font, that is from, that is the email address and the optionally name from the author or sender. 2, that is the email address to the messenger recipient, and whom you want to send his or her email address you have to write. You can write more than, if you want to send a single message to 5 people, you can do that. In the 2 part, you can write 5 people, 7 people, okay, no problem. Next, come to the BCC one. Okay, so that is a blind carbon copy, address added to the SMTP delivered list, but not usually. This listed the message data remaining invisible to other recipients. So you are in the blind copy part, you are sending to somewhere, you are sending to many people, but those people don't aware of this other people who is getting the mail. Okay, now it is CC, that is the carbon copy. The many email clients will mark email in your inbox, definitely depending on the whether you are in 2 or CC list. Okay, so another field is there, date, there is the local date and time. Subject is a summary of the message topic. Okay, message ID, automatically this field is generated. Okay, and attachment is there if you want to send any file, any document. So if you click on the attachment, it will be attached. Okay, now coming to the what is email address, and that we in the 2 part and the from part also email address is incorporated. So what is email address? So to deliver a mail, a system must use the addressing system with a unique address. So address contains 2 parts. One part is a local part, another is a domain part. Okay, so they are actually separated by this @one. Okay, domain the domain name. Local part is actually whatever ID you are creating, that is comes under the local part, and the domain name comes under the after the part. Okay, suppose you are writing that email. Suppose, let's see, it is shaha@gmail.com. So this part, this after this gmail.com is a part of a domain name, and this is actually the local part. Okay. Next one is the email addresses. Like postal address and email address specify the destination of the electronic message. An internet email address looks like username @domain name. That I am talking about. That is, so first will be the username and then will be the domain name. So local part is consisted of the username and this part is the domain name. Okay, so username is a unique name to identify a recipient, and domain name address is many people can share the same domain, because I am having an account in the Gmail, also I am having an account in a Yahoo. So many people are having account email address in the Gmail. So domain name can be same, but username have to be different, otherwise you cannot send this mail to particular people. Okay. Now coming to the topic, that is World Wide Web. Okay, so okay, now I am forgot to discuss about some advantages also, advantage and disadvantage. Okay, so advantage number 1 is speed. The recipient can receive the email within a very short time of sending the same. Cost, no cost is including if you have internet connection, so you can send. Message contain few lines and several lines of text, graphics, audio, but previously you can send audio clip or any video clip with this postal service, right? So here you have this advantage also. Delivery is very speedy. Delivery is security is there. No one can hack your email and everything. Okay. So what are actually the disadvantage of using the email? So information overload. People daily receive many mails. Majority of this can be junk mails. One can have go through the hundreds mails, find out which is a use people, which is not. So there is a overhead or information overhead also there. Number two, that is a security risk. That email can be source of a computer virus. So virus can comes at an attachment. Okay, so you have to be aware of that, and don't click on the spam link. Okay, because many of the times this is consist of this viruses. Okay, email bombing in the international sending of a large number of emails to the particular target address. This may causes overloading and can finally lead to the server crash. Okay, and email spoofing, that is occurs when the email header it is altered to the make a message appear to the come from the reliable known sources. This is usually done to collect the personal information of the recipient, but this is actually a punishable offense. Okay. Distraction, checking and replying to a vast number of mail is hamper the productivity. So these are actually, you can call it a advantage and disadvantage of the